When you lack good health, everything else in life suffers. It's harder to concentrate and study. Illness can cause you to fall behind in coursework. Stress can make you feel overwhelmed. If you want to do well in all areas of your life, you must make your health a priority. In the 2020 Social Progress Index, which measures quality of life across the globe using 50 well-being metrics, Americans rated themselves worse off now than they were 10 years ago. This data was collected before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, which has only increased the nation's need to live healthier, more balanced lives. As we prepare to enter a new year, you may be considering spending more time working on health and wellness. You don't necessarily need an expensive gym membership or a diet plan to improve your health. You can get solid health and wellness tips from authoritative blogs. The following are some of the top wellness blogs in areas of fitness, nutrition, and mental health. Exercise is the most essential for your overall health. Good health and weight loss are interrelated. If a person has a higher body mass index, then they are prone to several disorders like hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, and other cardiovascular problems. Exercise becomes very crucial if you are trying to lose weight and want to be fit and healthy. Two important factors that need to be considered to lose weight are exercise and dieting. The balance between the two is very important. In your everyday routine, if you follow your diet and skip exercise or your workout intensely and not follow your diet, then you will see your body behaving very differently. Exercise has many benefits attached to it along with weight loss. Exercise improves your mood, strengthens your bones, and reduces the risk of many chronic diseases. People tend to pull themselves out from exercise as they won't have the time to hit the gym or even cannot afford to join a gym or personal trainers to guide them on their fitness journey. Walking is considered one of the best weight loss exercises. Walking at a fast pace is a great exercise for burning calories. An exercise program that puts minimal stress on your joints and can be incorporated into your day-to-day activities. According to many studies, a 70-kilogram individual burns around 167 calories per 30 minutes of walking at a pace of 6.4 kilometers per hour. It is also observed that an individual can reduce their body fat by an average of 1.5% and waist circumference by 2.8 centimeters by walking for 50 to 70 minutes 3 times per week. Jogging and running are considered to be the king of weight loss exercises. These exercises are total body integrated exercises. It will strengthen your legs and be very effective for belly fat. The major difference between running and jogging is the pace. Jogging is between 6 to 9 km per hour and running will be around 10 km per hour. Running and jogging will approximately help burn 372 calories per 30 minutes and 298 calories per 30 minutes respectively. The combination of these three exercises will certainly help improve your muscular strength and overall body weight to keep you fit and healthy. Set aside 1 hour of your time and include these exercises in your routine. Start with walking exercise for 15 minutes. Increase your pace and start jogging for the next 15 minutes. With a constant increase in pace, run for another 15 minutes. Reduce your pace and come back to jogging for 10 minutes. Relax your body and slow down your pace and walk for 5 minutes. Skipping exercise offers a complete body workout and helps increase your muscle strength, metabolism, and burn many calories in a short time. Skipping exercise done regularly will bring in calmness and eases depression and anxiety. The workout also increases your heart rate, which results in faster pumping of blood across your body to keep your heart in a better and health condition. Along with your heart, the exercise takes care of your lungs by keeping it functioning and healthy. Everybody has a distinctive body, and which makes the process obtain different results. Losing weight is nothing but burning more calories than you intake, and skipping will surely help you do that. This form of exercise approximately burns calories close to 1,300 per hour. Plank pose or plank exercise is one of the most effective full-body workouts. The biggest advantage of plank's workout is it targets most of the major muscle groups in the body. It strengthens your muscles in the core, shoulder, arms, chest, back, and hips. Along with these benefits, plank exercises help in quickly burning the excess fats and calories from the body. A workout that seems to be a simple and easy one, but it's quite exhausting and intense. The plank exercise is a great example of the longer you work out, the better will be your results. You need to focus on holding your plank position for a longer period to find quick and better results. Plank exercise has different variations that target different muscle and body areas. Each variation is very helpful and keeps improving your core strength, body balance, endurance, and posture. The standard plank, it is also known as the extended arms plank. This position is best suited for beginners who are looking forward to improving their core strength. This workout is great for improving metabolic activity and digestion. The forearm plank variation is an identical version of the extended arms plank. The target areas of this workout are core, arms, shoulders, and back. The mountain climber is considered as one of the intense variations of plank workout. A full body workout that burns excess calories and fat from the body. The targeted areas of this workout are biceps, hamstring muscles, core, triceps, and chest. The reverse plank, this is a variation of the standard plank but done in a reverse manner. This workout is an excellent way to stretch your body. A workout that reduces unnecessary fats and calories from your body. It helps in strengthening your core, shoulders, back, chest, and gluteal muscles. Push-ups are one of the most popular exercises, and it is a workout that can be done at any time, any place, and by anyone. Push-ups exercise is very useful for weight loss as it pushes your body away from the ground and exerts energy, which in turn burns calories. Push-up exercises are good as it burns calories quickly and makes you focus on the larger muscles in your upper body. Push-up workout also focuses on your chest, shoulders, back, biceps, and triceps. Push-up exercise will also strengthen your core muscles and make your body physically stable and healthy. Push-ups help in building more lean muscles in our chest, shoulders, biceps, and triceps. If you keep practicing push-ups for weeks or months or years, then you will build a great amount of muscle mass, and to maintain your muscle your body has to expend its calories. Pull-ups focus on several muscle groups that burn more calories as multiple muscles like biceps, triceps, back and your core are working together. This workout can aid you to get in shape, increasing your ability to burn fat and boost your metabolism. To complete a pull-up it nearly takes 15 muscles, and the primary muscles are your lats and biceps. According to the study, doing a pull-up workout will help you burn nearly 10 calories per minute. It is recommended that at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity workout have to be done each week, as cardio is one of the best ways to burn calories. Squat exercises are known as muscle strengthening exercises. The main aim of this exercise is to improve your lower part of the body. Squats help burn calories and prevent fat from accumulating in your lower part of the body. This exercise helps improve your mobility and also balance. A beginner should aim for 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps of at least one type of squat to expect better results. A popular strength training workout that strengthens and tones your lower body and improves overall fitness and athletic performance. Lunges mainly focus on strengthening your back, hips, and legs. Lunges help in building lean muscle and reduce body fat. It is important to push yourself and include lunges in a high-intensity workout routine with the help of heavy weights. The single leg movements involved in this workout stabilizes muscles to develop balance, stability, and coordination. Along with exercises that need to be done at your place for weight loss. There are other factors and methods that can be helpful for weight management. Yoga, a 5,000-year-old transcription, has proved to be an effective weight loss therapy. It is believed to be developed by rishis and brahmins and has 5 basic principles: exercise, diet, breathing, relaxation, and meditation. The combination of yoga and healthy eating has proven beneficial as it helps to lose weight along with keeping your body and mind healthy. It also improves your mindfulness and relation with your body. Yoga poses are an integral part of weight reduction. Yoga poses focus mostly on improving concentration and building your muscle tone. Your body should get used to these poses to yield maximum benefits from yoga. Why is jogging so important for you? Well, it's the simplest exercise that can strengthen your bones and muscles, maintain a healthy weight, strengthen your heart and improve stamina. Jogging at 4 speed for at least 30 minutes will do you good. Why is jogging a very important exercise for everyone, and how can it help treat chronic illnesses is what this article will look into. Running and jogging are 2 identical aerobic exercises that can do a lot good for your overall health. The best part about aerobic exercises is that you can perform at any time. Here are 7 incredible health benefits of running and jogging you need to know. Jogging is the best weight loss exercise that is suggested by fitness trainers and dietitians. It helps you burn a lot of calories and curbs your appetite. You need to understand that without exercising you can become obese, and that could mean bigger trouble. A 30-minute slow jog every day can stop that tummy of yours from popping out. Jogging can help in the creation of new brain cells, thereby resulting in overall brain development and performance. An everyday 30-minute run or jog is said to increase body protein generated by your brain that helps in better decision-making and sharpness. How does this happen? Well, this physical activity sends nourished blood to the brains that help in better thinking and balance mood, keeping stress at bay. Jogging increases blood flow and nourishes your skin cells. Your blood carries oxygen and nutrients that are absorbed by your cells, and this helps you have vibrant skin. It also flushes out the bad toxins and waste products from your body. Your body produces stress hormones called cortisol that can make your skin look older. Jogging improves blood circulation, thus fighting cortisol. Early morning jogs or night jogs are both beneficial and have their own set of benefits. The only difference is that early morning may take time for your body to jump-start because of lower temperatures. On the contrary, evening jogs can boost lung function and enable you to jog the distance. Excessive jogging can be fatal, especially when you develop difficulty in breathing. It is advised that you take breaks every 15 minutes if you are a beginner. Here are some precautions you need to take while jogging. A 30-minute jog every day can help you beat stress, increase your metabolism, improve blood circulation, increase stamina, prevent risks of heart diseases, and burn belly fat. If you're a beginner, consider a 15-minute jog every day, and this will do you good. Running keeps your body in tone, while gymming is weightlifting that aims at muscle building. Running helps you lower calories much faster than weightlifting. It is recommended that you run or jog for a minimum of 30 minutes every day. Walking and other aerobic exercises like running and jogging help reduce belly fat. Remember, the more you sweat it out, the more you burn fat. Walking is a slow process of reducing belly fat. You can consider running or jogging if you are not suffering from any chronic disease. Medically speaking, no, you cannot reduce belly fat in 7 days. However, what you need to consider doing is follow a strict healthy diet and go for a 30-minute run or jog for 1 month, and you will see results. Heart patients can jog, run, or walk for 30 minutes every day. Also, people who are not physically active are at high risk of developing heart problems. Any form of aerobic exercise such as running, jogging, swimming, cycling, and walking can aid in a healthy mindset, good heart health, stronger bones, and improved levels of stamina. You have 24 hours in a day, and you can dedicate 30 minutes to these activities. Also, keep in mind that you need to follow a healthy diet and do not skip breakfast. A healthy diet along with simple exercising can do you good. Stay safe, live healthy. As the lockdown eases down to some point soon, gyms and fitness centers are all set to reopen. The pandemic has resulted in the way we socialize on a daily basis, and questions such as, should I use a face mask during exercise? What would be the consequences? Is it safe to hit the gym? Or how safe is it to touch gymming equipment? Are some doubts that this article will clarify. It is not recommended to use a face mask while exercising. The reason being, face masks restrict the flow of air into our lungs that results in shortness of breath and extreme tiredness. Moreover, face masks get wet due to sweat if worn over a long period of time. Remember, face masks must be worn to follow social distancing norms and not during exercises. If you have an underlying health problem that requires exercising, then there are ways in which you can continue your fitness schedule without using face masks. People suffering from asthma, heart diseases, high blood pressure, and diabetes, etc. can practice social distancing and exercises without face masks. Also, keep in mind that you do not push your limit if you are suffering from the above listed diseases. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), it is recommended that you do not cover your nose and mouth for more than 20 minutes. Instead, you can remove it and inhale some fresh air in an isolated area. The use of face masks is to be used only in crowded places and not otherwise. This will ensure that you are getting adequate amounts of oxygen. Your lungs inhale oxygen, which is vital for your very survival. Simultaneously, the lungs also exhale carbon dioxide, which is bad for your lungs. If carbon dioxide is inhaled, it could be life-threatening. So, what matters the most is how much oxygen you are able to take in and how many levels of it is good. Well, if you're a staunch health-oriented person, you can consider using a pulse oximeter to detect the levels of oxygen you intake. The other option is that you simply look at your body's reaction and decide. If you are facing symptoms such as lightheadedness, shortness of breath, numbness, or tingling in your body, it would mean that your lungs are not getting enough of oxygen to be transferred to other parts of your body. It is recommended that you use a disposable face mask over a reusable one. The reason is that a disposable one cannot be used more than once, while a reusable one has more risks of getting you infected even after being washed. Using a face mask while exercising is not a good idea and can result in fatal lung complications. If you are a fitness enthusiast and desperately need exercising, consider quarantining yourself at home until things get a little better. You wouldn't want to come in contact with the deadly COVID-19 virus, and so make it a point to use face masks wisely and practice social distancing. Stay home, stay safe. Our bodies are meant to run, jump, walk, move and dance. This is possible because of muscles, and keeping them in good shape should be top on our priority list. Heart is one of the strongest muscles in the body, and conditioning it regularly is critical for a wholesome cardiovascular health. Cardio workouts are exercises that raises our heart rates, and this in turn aids in more capillaries supplying more oxygen throughout the body. In today's fast-paced and dynamic life, it can be hard to hit the gym, given extra hours at work and tight deadlines. Nosebleed or epistaxis is a common problem faced by most people at least once in their lifetime. Nose is the organ associated with breathing and faces extremes of the outer environment. Both children and elderly people are at increased risk of this condition. An increase or decrease in temperature, pressure or humidity can cause a sudden nosebleed. The exact reasons tend to vary. Often, it is not serious and gets well within minutes. However, frequent nosebleeds can be a sign of underlying disorder, in which case, it should be diagnosed properly. It is the organ that faces the external temperature variations most. In order to regulate the temperature of the air entering the body, the membranes get damaged. The nasal membranes are thin, making them susceptible to injury. Anterior nose bleeding: it happens in the septum, the thin wall between the nostrils. It is generally harmless. It is most commonly seen in children. Posterior nose bleeding: it happens in the area where the arteries enter the nose. As a result, the bleeding is heavier. It indicates some serious underlying issues. Mostly older people face posterior nose bleeding. Epistaxis van is caused because of the following reasons: environmental factors. A change in humidity, temperature or pressure stresses out the thin nasal membrane. It leads to bleeding. Physical factors: any fall or accident that damages the face is most likely to cause nose damage too. If a person is already suffering from cold and forcefully blows out the nose, it may lead to bleeding. Kids often pick their nose, causing new damages as well as the scabs from older ones to come off. Medical factors: high BP patients are prone to nosebleeds. Also, patients on blood thinners or medicines for slowing down clotting frequently face epistaxis. Though not a serious issue, a nosebleed can cause discomfort and sometimes panic too. Here are the ways in which you can prevent it. Avoid overblowing your nose, especially if you previously had bleeding. Keep your house humidity level in control. Apply moisturizer or petroleum jelly inside the nose. Do not pick the scabs inside your nose. If your nose is bleeding, you can treat it in the following ways: lie down and apply pressure on the bleeding area to stop bleeding. Put ice packs around the nose. Apply moisturizing ointment to stop further irritation. Put gauze inside the nose to the bleeding source if you have posterior nose bleeding. Go for septal surgery if the curved septum is cause for recurrent bleeding. You can also go for ligation of the arteries that lead to blood loss. About 60% of the global population faces epistaxis at least once in a lifetime. From 60%, only 10% of cases indicate a serious issue. Even though nose bleeding is not considered a serious health condition, it is important to consult your doctor if the bleeding does not stop. Whether it is a fever or an upset stomach, the first number one tries to reach is their family doctor. Even though one knows the remedy to small health issues, a visit to the family doctor inspires confidence and positivity. Family doctors know every medical detail about their patients to having treated them since birth. From food preference to allergies, family doctors know their patient's lifestyle and follow their patient's life cycle. The long-lasting trustworthy relationship you build with your family doctor helps them to understand the ailment quickly and provide an informed treatment for the same. While you might feel tired and dizzy due to stress at work, your family doctor can analyze your dietary pattern, your appetite changes, your weight fluctuations, etc., and suggest appropriate tests for a deeper analysis of your symptoms. Family doctors do not treat your symptoms in isolation but treat you in entirety. Having known your medical history and your family medical history, they help you to manage physical and mental health. Family doctors are aware of even the smallest change in physical and physiological activity in your body. They can easily alert you about chronic conditions and help you with lifestyle management techniques. With a family doctor's support, progressive diseases like diabetes can be managed well. A general practitioner treats you for common cold as well as severe infections. They can prescribe antiseptics for scratches and also stitch up cuts and injuries. They can also help you manage long-term illnesses like diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, etc. Sometimes, they can also help one in prenatal and postnatal checkups. Thus, a family doctor is an all-rounder who can make you feel better. For a cold or a rash, you do not generally approach a specialist right away, instead visit a general practitioner for medical guidance. Having a family physician will save you in such situations as you can refer to them directly for any medical issue. Also, if the symptoms are persistent, the family doctor has the required professional contacts and will refer you to the right specialist, thereby saving time and providing the right follow-up. Treatment and rehabilitation is a costly affair. Statistics confirm that by adding a general practitioner for 10,000 people, hospital admission and emergency care fees can be reduced by 6%. Family doctors prevent their patients from panicking because of false alarms and also save a lot of time and money in this process. They improve the lives of their patients with their valuable advice. When your doctor knows you and is familiar with your medical history, treatment becomes easy. Family doctors treat their patients with familiarity and concern that heals the patient almost as much as medicine. That is why a family doctor is important. Tea and cigarette is a combination that oddly works. That is why often, you will witness smokers enjoying a cup of tea when smoking. The presence of nicotine in both tea and cigarette is not the only thing that the two have in common. Both act as calming and relaxing stimulants, which is why people enjoy smoking when sipping tea. American Association for Cancer Research has published a research paper that green tea could reduce the risk of lung cancer. Since green tea has polyphenols and antioxidants, they inhibit the growth of tumors, tumorigenesis. Smoking-induced carcinogenesis can be reduced by drinking green tea on a daily basis. Tea also improves fat metabolism and can increase endurance in the body. Though green tea cigarettes are considered safe, it is a better option to drink green tea extract rather than smoking. At a time when the deadly COVID-19 virus is at its peak, one may find difficulty differentiating from what you may be suffering from because of its symptoms that are similar to common cold and cough, fever, allergies and flu. Itching eyes and running nose can also mean that you have fever or novel coronavirus. So how do you differentiate between the symptoms of COVID-19 to that of fever, flu, cold and cough? This article will give you a better understanding of this. Common cold is a viral infection that involves symptoms like running nose, fatigue, body ache and sneezing. COVID-19 is a deadly virus that affects the lungs and can be life-threatening. It involves symptoms like difficulty breathing, pressure, pain in the chest, difficulty walking, lips and face turning bluish. Flu, also known as influenza virus, is a viral infection that affects both the upper and lower respiratory system. It is contagious and can spread from person to person. Symptoms include cough, body ache, severe headache and fatigue. COVID-19 possesses similar symptoms, just that it can include shortness of breath. Treating the person in isolation can help the person recover. Although the symptoms of flu and common cold and cough are similar, the way each of these infections is treated differs. Here is what you need to know: the procedure of treatment for flu, common cold and cough including COVID. A doctor will advise that you take good rest and prescribe a lot of fluids such as coconut water, herbal tea, fresh juice, soups etc. to treat the flu. If you are suffering from severe flu, then antiviral medications such as peramivir, rapivab, oseltamivir, Tamiflu, etc. will be prescribed. A doctor will recommend that you consume a lot of fluids such as coconut water, pepper turmeric milk and green tea to keep yourself hydrated. You will also be prescribed over-the-counter medications such as ibuprofen, acetaminophen, Tylenol, etc. that will fight the cold. A doctor will recommend that you take good rest and consume plenty of fluids. You will have to stay in a separate room from other family members and use a dedicated bathroom. Also, you need to clean your room frequently with disinfectant and do not touch any surface. However, these precautions are for those taking self-care at home as advised by a medical practitioner. If you have severe symptoms, then you will have to undergo treatment in a hospital. You may not be sure of whether or not you may have COVID or just flu. But taking simple steps to prevent it could be the first thought of action. Here are some home remedies to beat cold, cough, flu and also COVID. Influenza virus known as flu attacks the respiratory system of people with weaker immunity levels. It can be fatal if it is left untreated. The best way to get rid of the flu is to take good rest and rely on fluids so that your body enables itself to fight the virus. Here are some foods to get rid of the flu. Hay fever, often referred to as an allergy, causes watery eyes, itchiness on skin, sneezing and fever is often diagnosed by skin testing and nasal passage tests. The symptoms could appear similar to that of COVID-19 and here are some foods that can beat hay fever. Coronavirus is a contagious infection that affects the lungs causing fever, shortness of breath, cold, cough, etc. However, if you are diagnosed with it in the initial stages, a doctor will recommend home self-care. Using a single room, individual bathroom and disinfecting the room frequently is what you will have to do. However, here are some immunity-boosting foods that you need to consume if you have COVID. Flu, hay fever, cold and cough have similar symptoms to that of COVID, but remember that shortness of breath and high fever may be symptoms indicative of have high chances of you suffering from COVID. It is recommended that you consult a doctor at the earliest. Here are some frequently asked questions that will give you an insight into COVID symptoms. Smoking is a huge risk factor towards getting COVID. Since COVID affects the lungs, smokers can come into contact with the virus because of weak lungs. Symptoms of flu, hay fever, cold and cough are similar to the deadly COVID virus. What you need to be aware of is sudden shortness of breath, high fever and mild cold and cough. If you are facing any of the following symptoms, then make it a point to get to the nearest hospital. Live safe, wear a mask, maintain social distance and frequently wash your hands. Remain physically active with a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise daily for adults and 60 minutes for children and maintain optimal levels of immunity. As the need for a COVID vaccine grows, most medical practitioners have recommended an old method for fighting the infectious disease. This treatment used is called plasma therapy. It is a medical process where blood is donated by recovered patients to establish antibodies that fight the infection. Why is it done? How effective has this medical procedure been on COVID patients are questions that this article will shed some light on. Plasma therapy is a medical procedure that uses the blood of a recovered patient to create antibodies on those infected individuals. Medically known as convalescent plasma therapy, this treatment uses antibodies found in the blood taken from a recovered COVID-19 patient. It is then used to treat those with severe SARS-CoV-2 infection to aid recovery. Currently, it has shown positive results in Delhi and Mumbai where COVID cases are spiking high. It has also proven to improve the ability of a person to recover from the disease. However, there is more research required to prove its full efficacy in different patient types. A convalescent plasma therapy uses antibodies, a type of protein i.e. produced by plasma from patients who have completely recovered from COVID-19 infection. Here is how this procedure will fight coronavirus in your body. Blood is taken from a previously infected but completely recovered patient. The plasma component of that blood is separated and that contains the antibodies against SARS-CoV-2 virus. This plasma is injected into an infected person's body that will fight the virus and neutralize it from spreading. Once the patient has recovered, she will be asked to donate their blood so that their antibodies will be used to treat other infected patients. The blood sample will be checked for any existing harmful diseases such as hepatitis B and C including HIV. The recovered blood will be taken into study and a researcher will extract plasma from the blood that can be injected into an infected person. Firstly, a doctor will recommend a convalescent plasma treatment that is suitable for your blood type. Here's how you need to prepare before treatment and what you must do after treatment. Your healthcare professional will assess your health before you undergo the treatment. This procedure involves a healthcare member who will insert an intravenous, IV tube into a vein on your arms. The recovered plasma from a recovered infected person will be attached to the IV tube and supplied to you in drips. It takes 2 hours for the procedure to be completed. You will be monitored by your healthcare specialist and you will have to make frequent visits to the hospital for further assessment by the doctor. Depending on your overall health, your healthcare specialist will decide if you require further hospitalization or not. Though this kind of treatment has proved to be effective over COVID patients, it needs to be done under proper medical supervision, keeping in mind underlying risks. Here are some potential risks you need to be aware of. Since this process involves blood transfusion, there could be a risk of transmitting a prevalent virus from a recovered person. Thus, a doctor must assess the recovered person's health before opting to conduct blood transfusion. Every human body reacts in different ways to a treatment or medication. This treatment cannot be useful for some patients as it can result in the contraction of an infection. You could be at risk of contracting the infection once again. Plasma therapy is not something new, as we may have heard of its use over COVID-19 patients. It is not the first time that it has been recommended by doctors for treating viral infections. Here is a list of other infections that this treatment was recommended for. Plasma therapy has proved to be effective in India and is gaining worldwide recognition in the treatment of final stages of COVID patients. Here are some frequently asked questions that will give you an insight into how it's done and its various other facets. Plasma therapy has proven to be effective especially in treating COVID patients with severe infection. It has turned out to be the last shield of defense that can fight COVID. However, there is more research that is being done to understand its efficacy on COVID patients. More research shall help gather more evidence about this procedure in the times to come. Coronavirus has transformed us from multiple points of view and thus have our needs. One should be extra cautious when they are in broad daylight puts or are venturing out to diminish the introduction to sickness-causing germs and microorganisms. So far, the COVID-19 pandemic has influenced crores of individuals around the globe, with India's number contacting very nearly 95 lakh, and the number is just expanding as time passes. Individuals have been stuck at home for a very long time presently because of the pandemic. However, in the end, everybody is venturing out for work or different exercises. On these occasions, it is vital to follow social distancing standards, wear a mask, keep your hands sanitized, and make an effort not to meet individuals until and except if very required. We have incorporated top-notch 5 products that you have to carry with you right now to remain safe. Masks and shields are a basic hindrance to help keep your respiratory beads from arriving at others. Studies show that shields and masks decrease the shower of beads when worn over the nose and mouth. You should wear a shield mask, regardless of whether you don't feel debilitated. This is because few examinations have discovered that individuals with COVID-19 who never create manifestations asymptomatic, and the individuals who are not yet demonstrating indications pre-suggestive can even now spread the infection to others. The principal capacity of wearing a shield mask is to secure people around you if you are infected, however not indicating symptoms. It is particularly imperative to wear a shield mask when you can't remain in any event 6 feet separated from others, since COVID-19 spreads essentially among individuals who are in close contact with each other, inside around 6 feet. We interact with a few things when we are out, such as shopping baskets, door handles, basic food item packs. One can never be certain what sorts of microorganisms are available on these surfaces. You have to keep your hands clean to forestall COVID disease. Washing hands with a cleanser and water for 20 seconds is the best method to kill the illness-causing microorganisms. In any case, without that, sanitizer is the second best other option. Make sure you always carry a hand sanitizer containing a minimum of 60% ethanol or isopropyl alcohol. It is acceptable to keep a disinfectant convenient when you are voyaging. Put it in your vehicle or knapsack to wipe down the surface you will in general touch frequently. The vehicle doors, cell phones, shopping basket, every one of these things are favorable places for microorganisms and infections. You should clean them regularly with a decent disinfectant spray, containing 7.5% hydrogen peroxide. Pulse oximeter is a non-intrusive and effortless test that gauges the oxygen immersion level in the blood, and it tends to be utilized as a basic self-controlled test. Oximeter helps in detecting small changes and shows how effectively the oxygen is moving into the blood and also to all the other parts of the body. A minor decrease in lung work because of contaminations, COPD, asthma, bronchitis, or some other lung problems can be gotten from the get-go by the estimation of oxygen immersion on the blood utilizing the fingertip beat oximeter. As indicated by the World Health Organization, individuals might be wiped out with the infection for 1 to 14 days before developing symptoms. The most well-known symptoms of COVID infection, COVID-19, are fever, dry cough, and sluggishness. Most individuals, about 80%, recuperate from the sickness without requiring any specific treatment. A thermometer is fundamental to distinguish a fever, which is the body's method of caution you that something is off and can be an indication that your body is attempting to battle a disease or contamination. Prior to the pandemic, death rates in some types cancer had started to stabilize or even decrease as patients increasingly took a more active role in their own care, while cancer services improved, and more treatments became available. 2. The COVID-19 pandemic has partially or severely disrupted cancer care services globally. 3. Possibly significantly impacting the prospect of early diagnosis and consequently, improved patient outcomes. By the third quarter of 2020, cancer diagnoses have fallen by approximately 40% 4 to 8 and are likely continuing to decline as the pandemic continues. Fear of contracting the virus at hospitals and clinics may have deterred patients from seeking medical attention for new symptoms or attending routine checks. Many patients with diagnosed cancer also discontinued treatment due to a myriad of reasons, such as appointments being delayed, and screening being deprioritized in an overburdened healthcare system and to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19. 10. We cannot allow such setbacks in the remarkable progress that has been made against cancer in recent decades. ICMR statistics reveal that 92,000 patients having failed a timely cancer diagnosis. 11 Threatens to reverse the remarkable progress that has been made against cancer in recent decades. To address the problem, AstraZeneca has launched New Normal, Same Cancer, a program that raises awareness regarding the impact of COVID-19 on cancer care and calls for patients to contact their doctor and return to cancer care services, including anyone who has paused treatment, missed routine checks or is experiencing symptoms that may be due to cancer. These actions are critical because as we adapt to a new normal, cancer has remained the same and continues to be a global challenge. We request your support to this campaign to help us create awareness regarding timely cancer diagnosis and care. Please let us know if you're happy and available to support New Normal, Same Cancer and the action that we are calling for. We are at the peak of the COVID outbreak and most medical research companies are in a rush to find a vaccine. At a time like this, it is great to hear of the promising drug called favipiravir that has been used on COVID patients worldwide and has proven to have shown positive results. What is this drug and how effective it is on COVID patients are some questions that this article will give you an insight. Favipiravir, an antiviral drug used in Japan to treat patients suffering from influenza virus, has proved to be effective over COVID patients. It has had over 18 clinical trials for COVID patients and has shown positive results. Currently, Mumbai-based Glenmark Pharmaceuticals has approved the manufacture and sale of this drug to treat COVID patients in India. The Drugs Controller General of India (DCGI) permitted Mumbai-based pharmaceuticals Glenmark Pharmaceuticals that this drug can be used in the treatment of people suffering from mild to moderate severity of COVID infection. Before we understand if this can cure, here are some facts we need to be aware of this magic drug. Invented by a Japanese company to treat influenza virus. Post-COVID outbreak, China and Russia began using it on COVID patients and there does not exist enough scientific data regarding its rate of cure. Currently, Glenmark Pharmaceuticals is conducting a Phase 3 clinical trial of this drug on people with mild COVID. There is no scientific evidence on DCGI's website about this drug curing COVID. Earlier, the Japanese who approved this drug for influenza has made it compulsory to print behind the label that the drug cannot be used by pregnant or lactating women. A research study was conducted over 150 Indian patients by Glenmark Pharmaceuticals and details have yet to be made public. Conclusion: Favipiravir is undergoing clinical trials in India and there is not much scientific evidence that it can cure or treat COVID. What we need to understand is that the data collected from such studies will usually be published in peer-reviewed journals. However, there is no evidence of favipiravir being published in any scientific journal. While favipiravir is still being clinically tested in India, there have been other drugs as claimed by world governments that could be used positively in the treatment of COVID. Do these drugs prove to be effective? Well, here's what you need to know. This drug was developed 10 years ago and was used in clinical trials over people suffering from Ebola. However, results showed that it could only block the virus from spreading than cure it. Currently, the drug has been tested over COVID-19 patients around the world and shows positive results in reducing the number of days a person takes to recover. Moreover, this drug helps COVID patients recover within 11 days than that of 15 days. This drug is a combination of two different drugs called lopinavir and ritonavir that have been used against HIV. Research states that it can be used over people suffering from mild COVID. However, this drug is still going through clinical trials and only time will prove its efficacy. This antiviral drug was tested along with Kaletra as a treatment for COVID patients. However, this drug did not prove effective in the clinical trials over people suffering from mild or moderate COVID. What is a vaccine? A vaccine is designed to protect people before one contracts a virus. It basically protects an infected or non-infected person. Here is a list of projects taken worldwide to figure out a vaccine to treat and cure COVID. The University of Oxford had begun clinical trials over 500 participants during late April 2020 and states that there is an 80% success chance of making the virus available during early September 2020. The university also stated if clinical trials are proven effective, they could deliver 30 million doses of vaccine by September. Inovio Pharmaceuticals had begun working on a DNA vaccine for MERS, a type of coronavirus. The company stated that it had tested 40 healthy volunteers in its Phase 1 clinical trial and is currently preparing for its Phase 2 and 3. In March 2020, an American biotech company called Moderna began testing of RNA vaccine in Seattle. In May, the company received permission from the FDA to begin its Phase 2 study. In July, it began Phase 3 of clinical trials, and if it succeeds, it will be made available by early December as claimed by the company. Currently, researchers at the University of Queensland are developing a vaccine by growing viral proteins in cells. Research begins to grow as they have initiated preclinical testing in April 2020. Johnson & Johnson along with a French pharmaceutical company, Sanofi, has been working together on a vaccine for COVID. However, both have begun clinical testing in June over 200 participants. We will have to wait for more research and findings to be seen. Since COVID affects people with weak immune systems, it is vital that you consume foods that boost your immunity. Choose from MedLife's wide range of immunity boosters such as Tulsi capsules, neem tablet, curcumin tablets and amalaka tablets. Our range of dietary supplements are made from 100% natural ingredients and are clinically tested. Favipiravir has been authorized by the Drugs Controller General of India (DCGI) to be given for people with mild to moderate COVID infection. However, what we need to buy out of this is that the drug is still being clinically tested in the country and it shows effectiveness on paper. The best thing that you can do is stay home, wear a face mask and wash your hands for a minimum of 20 seconds every time you go out and enter your homes. Better safe than take a risk at a time when the world is still battling this deadly virus. At a time when the deadly COVID-19 virus is at its peak, one may find difficulty differentiating from what you may be suffering from because of its symptoms that are similar to common cold and cough, fever, allergies and flu. Itching eyes and running nose can also mean that you have fever or novel coronavirus. So how do you differentiate between the symptoms of COVID-19 to that of fever, flu, cold and cough? This article will give you a better understanding of this. Common cold is a viral infection that involves symptoms like running nose, fatigue, body ache and sneezing. COVID-19 is a deadly virus that affects the lungs and can be life-threatening. It involves symptoms like difficulty breathing, pressure, pain in the chest, difficulty walking, lips and face turning bluish. Flu, also known as influenza virus, is a viral infection that affects both the upper and lower respiratory system. It is contagious and can spread from person to person. Symptoms include cough, body ache, severe headache and fatigue. COVID-19 possesses similar symptoms, just that it can include shortness of breath. Treating the person in isolation can help the person recover. Although the symptoms of flu and common cold and cough are similar, the way each of these infections is treated differs. Here is what you need to know: the procedure of treatment for flu, common cold and cough including COVID. A doctor will advise that you take good rest and prescribe a lot of fluids such as coconut water, herbal tea, fresh juice, soups etc. to treat the flu. If you are suffering from severe flu, then antiviral medications such as peramivir, rapivab, oseltamivir, Tamiflu, etc. will be prescribed. A doctor will recommend that you consume a lot of fluids such as coconut water, pepper turmeric milk and green tea to keep yourself hydrated. You will also be prescribed over-the-counter medications such as ibuprofen, acetaminophen, Tylenol, etc. that will fight the cold. A doctor will recommend that you take good rest and consume plenty of fluids. You will have to stay in a separate room from other family members and use a dedicated bathroom. Also, you need to clean your room frequently with disinfectant and do not touch any surface. However, these precautions are for those taking self-care at home as advised by a medical practitioner. If you have severe symptoms, then you will have to undergo treatment in a hospital. Since most symptoms of cold, flu and certain allergies are similar to COVID, there are certain symptoms that clearly indicate that you may have any of the below-listed infections. Initially, you may not be sure of whether or not you may have COVID or just flu. But taking simple steps to prevent it could be the first thought of action. Here are some home remedies to beat cold, cough, flu and also COVID. Influenza virus known as flu attacks the respiratory system of people with weaker immunity levels. It can be fatal if it is left untreated. The best way to get rid of the flu is to take good rest and rely on fluids so that your body enables itself to fight the virus. Here are some foods to get rid of the flu. Hay fever, often referred to as an allergy, causes watery eyes, itchiness on skin, sneezing and fever is often diagnosed by skin testing and nasal passage tests. The symptoms could appear similar to that of COVID-19 and here are some foods that can beat hay fever. Coronavirus is a contagious infection that affects the lungs causing fever, shortness of breath, cold, cough etc. However, if you are diagnosed with it in the initial stages, a doctor will recommend home self-care. Using a single room, individual bathroom and disinfecting the room frequently is what you will have to do. However, here are some immunity-boosting foods that you need to consume if you have COVID. Flu, hay fever, cold and cough have similar symptoms to that of COVID, but remember that shortness of breath and high fever may be symptoms indicative of have high chances of you suffering from COVID. It is recommended that you consult a doctor at the earliest. Here are some frequently asked questions that will give you an insight into COVID symptoms. Smoking is a huge risk factor towards getting COVID. Since COVID affects the lungs, smokers can come into contact with the virus because of weak lungs. Symptoms of flu, hay fever, cold and cough are similar to the deadly COVID virus. What you need to be aware of is sudden shortness of breath, high fever and mild cold and cough. If you are facing any of the following symptoms, then make it a point to get to the nearest hospital. Live safe, wear a mask, maintain social distance and frequently wash your hands. Remain physically active with a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise daily for adults and 60 minutes for children and maintain optimal levels of immunity. Over-the-counter medicines are those medicines that can be bought at a drugstore without any prescription. May it be body pain, cold, flu, constipation and nausea, there are a huge number of people who rely on OTC medicines for a cure. Why do people opt for over-the-counter medicines? Could there be any long-term effects on our health and why do doctors recommend prescription medicines are questions this article will shed some light on. Well, most opt for OTC medicines due to financial reasons or thinking that they might be facing a simple illness that can be cured without doctor consultation. OTC medicines can affect your health in the long run and cause unpleasant effects. Here are some adverse effects of relying on OTC medication for a long time. Our body processes and uses each medicine differently and when you take OTC medicines, it can cause drug-to-drug interactions. This simply means when multiple medicines are consumed at a time, your body can develop side effects. Here are some ways in which drugs can react with other drugs and impact your overall health. When you take medicines that have similar ingredients but only the brand may differ. Most times substitute medicines can give you more than the medicine your body actually needs. Too much of something can hurt your liver or kidneys. Different medicines with different effects can interact with your body. For example, medicines taken for COVID can help fight the disease but also raise blood pressure levels simultaneously. Sometimes there are certain foods that can interrupt with your medication, and this phenomenon is called drug and food interaction. Certain foods can prevent the medicines from doing the job. If you take medicines that are not prescribed to be taken after meals, then there could be a reaction on your health. Not all foods can interrupt with the medicines taken. What matters the most is what you need to eat and when to. Some people can face allergies after taking certain medications. These allergic reactions can be rashes, breathing problems, and itching. If you ever had any such reaction, it is advisable to stop it immediately and consult a doctor at the earliest. You wouldn't want to be in a tricky situation, rather consult a doctor about the previous medicines taken, as it would give an overview about your health status. What is the meaning of side effects? When medicines taken to heal the cause do not work, instead progresses, your symptoms are called side effects. In most cases, side effects are not a pleasant feeling. This unpleasant feeling can be in the form of dizziness, bleeding in the digestive tract, or painful headaches. What we need to understand is that allergies are not side effects because it is the medication that reacts with food to cause it. Side effects do not cure the infection, instead progress it. Mental medicines are sold usually on prescription basis, but there are a lot pharmacies that do sell it without prescription. These drugs can be addictive, thus leaving the individual highly reliant on it. Do not opt for OTC medicines, rather consult your doctor at the earliest. Anytime you take OTC medicines, be aware of the reactions it has on your body. Take for instance, if your fever is not reducing, it can be caused due to some other infection. Always consult your doctor before you take any kind of medicine. Here are some symptoms of relying on OTC medications for a long time. Healthy individuals taking OTC medicines have less risks of fatal effects. However, if you are suffering from any chronic illness, it is not recommended that you opt for OTC medication. Here is a list of those who should not take OTC medicines. You need to understand that the older you get, the more prone you are towards getting sick. You may be battling with a chronic illness for years, and considering OTC medication can turn out to be fatal for your overall health. Since you already take other medicines for your existing illness, taking OTC drugs can turn out to be life-threatening. Make it a point to consult your healthcare professional and let him/her know what medications you have or are taking on a daily basis. This will not only help them prescribe the right medicines, but also understand your overall health status. OTC medication is not good for your health, as it can harm your overall health in multiple ways. However, there are some people who opt for it due to financial reasons too. Government hospitals offer free medical care for the needy, and it advised that you avail those benefits. Here are some frequently asked questions that will give you an insight into some of its other facets. Non-prescribed drugs such as anti-stress medicines can harm your overall health if taken on a regular basis. You can be of higher risk of developing memory loss, heart problems, kidney failure, or even death. Consult your doctor before taking any medicine. Sometimes you may ask for a medicine to cure viral fever, and the druggist may sell you some without prescription. This drug can be an antibiotic and not cure your illness as given. Moreover, you may consult a doctor and explain your sickness and take medicines as prescribed. Suddenly, you begin to notice that the prescribed medicine is not curing. This is because you need to take the right kind of medicines for the right kind of sickness. Your body resists the medicines because it is used to it. Thus a new one needs to be prescribed to fight your sickness. Viral infections last not more than a week or two. In case you fall sick, make it a point to consult your doctor to avoid fatalities. Leprosy is an infectious disease caused by a bacterium known as Mycobacterium leprae. Though it is curable, it is contagious and can spread via close contact with already infected patients. According to the WHO, in 2018, the total number of people infected newly by leprosy was 208,619. With a prevalence rate of 0.2 per 100 people, the world needs to be aware of the causes and effects of leprosy. With this aim, World Leprosy Day is observed on the last Sunday of January every year. The purpose of observing World Leprosy Day is to raise awareness about leprosy. There is a misconception among people that leprosy is an extinct disease. However, every year, nearly 1,000 new people are diagnosed with it. French humanitarian Raoul Follereau decided in 1953 to observe World Leprosy Day on the last Sunday of January, as it coincided with the death anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The vision of this event is to conduct public educational events that will explain leprosy to the common man and teach methods to prevent the disease's spread. Conducting rallies, marathons, screening tests, doctors' addresses to the public, etc. are part of the anti-leprosy campaign. Leprosy is one of the oldest diseases affecting mankind, where the infected were once considered outcasts. It has been referred to as Hansen's disease, named after the Norwegian Gerhard Henrik Armauer Hansen, who proved that this disease is not hereditary. The bacteria M. leprae resembles a rod and spreads very fast. This infectious disease affects the skin by causing sores and disfigurement, and also the peripheral nerves, especially in the arms and legs, as well as the mucus of the upper respiratory tract and eyes. Symptoms appear 3 to 5 years after the invasion of the M. leprae bacteria. The incubation time for the bacteria is 5 to 20 years. The first skin lesion is usually the indeterminate type, which causes one or a few hypopigmented pale spots before evolving into the borderline, tuberculoid or Lapromidus types. Tuberculoid leprosy can be either one large red patch with well-defined raised borders or a large hypopigmented asymmetrical spot. Lesions become dry and hairless. Loss of sensation may occur at the site of some lesions. Tender, thickened nerves with subsequent loss of function are common. Spontaneous resolution may occur in a few years or it may progress to borderline or rarely Lapromidus types. Borderline tuberculoid leprosy is similar to the tuberculoid type except that lesions are smaller and more numerous. The disease may remain in this stage or convert back to tuberculoid form, or progress. Borderline leprosy is characterized by numerous, red, irregularly shaped plaques. Sensory loss is moderate. The disease may remain in this stage, improve or worsen. Borderline Lapromidus leprosy is characterized by numerous lesions of all kinds, plaques, macules, papules, and nodules. Lesions that look like inverted saucers are common. Hair growth and sensation are usually not impaired over the lesions. Early nerve involvement in Lapromidus leprosy may go unnoticed. Numerous lesions of all kinds may appear, like plaques, macules, papules, and nodules. Early symptoms include nasal stuffiness, discharge and bleeding, and swelling of the legs and ankles. Left untreated, the following problems may occur in Lapromidus leprosy. Initially, when leprosy occurred in 1940, dapsone was the medicine that was used for treatment. But in 1960, leprae developed resistance to this medicine and later multi-drug therapy became the ideal treatment practice for leprosy. The MDT treatment comprises of dapsone, rifampicin, and clofazimine. This treatment kills pathogens and cures patients. MDT is made available free of cost by WHO for patients who cannot afford to buy the medicine. A lot of stigma and discrimination against people with leprosy still exist. The intention of celebrating World Leprosy Day is to eliminate the stigma and convey the message of beating leprosy together by spreading awareness about this disease. Hemophilia, which literally translates to an affinity for blood, is a rare genetic disorder that causes problems with clotting. It was earlier referred to as a royal disease, as Queen Victoria of England was a carrier of this condition. She also passed it on to 3 of her 9 children, and one son is believed to have bled to death due to this. This is a hereditary condition. There are 2 sex chromosomes in every individual, X and Y, and this disease is carried by the X chromosome. As females have 2 X chromosomes, and males have an X and a Y each, the risk of men developing this condition is higher. Females often end up as carriers and transmit the disease. There are also instances of hemophilia with no family history, which happens due to genetic mutations. In addition to history, bleeding time and clotting time are checked. Further, blood tests are also done to confirm that the clotting factors are indeed absent. In women who are suspected carriers, fetal tests can be done at 10 weeks to check if the fetus could be hemophilic. People with hemophilia should be careful not to get hurt, especially avoid handling knives or other sharp instruments so they do not get cuts. They should also maintain good oral hygiene to reduce the need for dental surgeries. Some people may require clotting factor injections on a regular basis. The food one eats gives energy that is used by cells in the body to grow and proliferate. Digestion is the most important life process, and the GI tract is dependent on the gut bacteria for its seamless operation. Interestingly, medical research has proved that the digestive system and the immune system are interconnected in such a way that for one to work fine, the other has to be healthy as well. The GI tract comprises of all the organs from the mouth to the large intestine that helps in the ingestion of food and absorption of water and other nutrients from the food. There are plenty of factors that affect the digestive system. The immune system is responsible for the development of a strong body to fight infections and prevent it from contracting diseases. The system comprises of gastrointestinal immune cells that secrete lymphocyte cells to attack foreign bodies. These gut immune cells and the microflora prevent the growth of microbes and fight pathogens and toxins that are ingested along with the food. If the digestive tract is not working properly, it can lead to low absorption of nutrients that will affect the overall health. Thus, it is vital to maintain a healthy gut to have a strong immune system. When you eat, your food passes through a pipe called the esophagus and reaches the stomach, after which the actual digestion happens with the help of gastric acids. There are different conditions that lead to this food regurgitating, causing heartburn from the acidic, half-digested food. This condition is far more common during nighttime when a person goes to bed after a heavy meal. This can lead to sleeplessness and further worsening of the heartburn condition. If left untreated, the lower portion of the esophagus where food regurgitates into can develop ulcers or even cancer. Therefore, identifying and treating nighttime heartburn is important. Anyone can have heartburn after a heavy meal once in a while, but if the problem is persistent, it needs to be looked into. The following conditions are known to cause heartburn during the night. Nighttime heartburn can lead to disrupted sleep as well as a decrease in the overall functioning during the day, lethargy and low energy levels. Therefore, managing it becomes essential, which can be easily done with a few lifestyle changes. A lot of simple lifestyle changes including diet and sleeping habits can help control nighttime heartburn. Here are a few other ways to manage it. When you have heartburn at night, making a few lifestyle changes can take you a long way. If the problem still persists, then it is best to get in touch with a doctor. All of us dreamt of working from home before the pandemic. Well, all that seems green may not be that way forever. Imagine a time when we all wanted to skip that long commute to the office, avoid office politics and endless meetings. Well, now that we all are pushed to work from home with no compromise, simple problems like irritation and deprived social interaction could spike mental health issues. Why is working from home bad for a long time? What could happen and how we need to keep our mindset strong while working from home are some questions that this article will give you insight into. Working from home is a good thought. But you could develop certain problems even without your knowledge. Here are 10 unexpected health problems you could develop while working from home. Stress is the cause of all health issues ranging from mental to physical health. Working from home can result in stress eating where you start craving calorie-rich foods that include more carbs and junk. If you have been stress eating, then reverse it by going out for a jog or run. This will keep you fit and benefit your overall health. Working from home can leave you craving junk food. Make sure you consume a healthy diet that includes more leafy greens and fruits to stay fit and healthy. You can set a diet calendar and commit yourself to it every week. Also, consider regular exercise to your plan as it can benefit your overall health. Aerobic exercises such as jogging, cycling, swimming, walking, and running will do you good. Aristotle, a renowned Greek philosopher, said, "Man is a social animal." Well, we all socialize with everyone, and that's what keeps us moving on with life and its various mysteries. Work from home reduces social life, thus leading to self-isolation and depression. This can turn out to be a major mental illness. Make it a point to call your friends so you can go out on weekly meets. This will keep your mindset positive and healthy. One of the major problems of working from home is the lack of proper sitting posture. Longer durations of wrong sitting posture can cause severe back pain and spinal-related problems in the future. It is recommended to sit straight and make sure that your laptop is placed at a height at which you are working. Also, drink a lot of water throughout the day to keep yourself hydrated. Text neck is a condition that most people face daily. It is referred to as a condition in which you keep looking at your phone for longer hours. When you move your neck back from the phone, you can get a neck strain or muscle stiffness equivalent to 4 bowling balls. Do not use your phone for longer hours and keep your neck straight while using it. Using your mobile or laptop for more hours with high brightness can lead to eye strain and causes eye power to increase. Make it a point to use your gadgets on low brightness. This will relax eye muscles and give you a soothing effect. Working from home can lead to breakups and misunderstandings between you and your partner. This is because both of you may be spending time with each other more at home. Well, psychologically speaking, every individual needs to have their own time and space. This could have been better when going to the office. Make sure you both take time to address stress or tension between each other and avoid conflict. Staring at your laptop or mobile screen the whole day can leave you staring at the ceiling the whole night. Sleep cycle reversing is a common occurrence if you opt for work from home. It is important to switch off your mobile phone before you sleep. Undisturbed sleep helps you live longer and develop a healthy lifestyle. Working from home can leave you feeling leftover or anxious about your job performance as it derails you from interacting with your boss. All you need to do is set a schedule for your daily log in and log out time and stay in touch with your boss or supervisors regularly. This will avoid misunderstandings or over-communication of certain tasks. Working from home can leave you binge eating the entire day. There is easy access to the entire fridge and you just munch on whatever you like. This can lead to obesity and further health problems in the future. Make sure you follow the 3-meal process every day, i.e. breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In between, you can have snacks to keep your tummy from grumbling. The worst working from a home problem is social media addiction. You often see yourself scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and start feeling depressed over certain notifications and feeds of your friends doing well. Stop using your mobile phones for longer durations and avoid going on social media more often. This will help focus on yourself and your future goals. Working from home can be good for certain people who feel that their social lives and eating habits are not hindered. Well, it may not be the case for a few. Social lives matter, thus making it a point to take breaks and go out with your friends and avoid social media often. This will help you set goals for yourself and keep yourself focused. Live safe, stay happy.